Shalom, Yasharallah, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAK Call all YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAK mercy and compassion may the Most High have upon you, brothers, and you sincere sisters out there, that's continuing in the work, that's continuing in the faith, the hope, and charity, these three things. Like the scripture says, if we don't have these three things, it means nothing. So anyway, we're going to watch a little clip of this video it's called Extreme Heat Impacting Millions for July 4th events, right? Now, there's a certain speech I wanted y'all to read, or not really read, but listen to, in this video that Trump says. And it made me, I ain't about to lie, it made me start dying laughing. It made me die laughing. People say, oh, I died laughing. You get it. It made me laugh out loud. Because it's one of the most prideful things I have ever heard come out of the mouth of Babylon. And they have done many wicked things. Words is not enough. But through the mouth of the wicked, this is how they are. So listen.
I'm disappointed, but I do understand that, it's a safety thing.
President Donald Trump, meanwhile, left the heat in the East on Friday and headed for a speech and fireworks show at South Dakota's Mount Rushmore.
At 250 years, America is the oldest republic on earth. We are the freest people on earth. We have the most righteous and enduring constitution on earth. We are the strongest and most powerful country on earth.
Trump is also slated to speak before the mass.
All right, so I know y'all heard that, man. They everything on earth. The most righteous. They got the most powerful constitution on earth. The most righteous on earth. The most powerfulest country on earth. This is the pride of Babylon right here. Now, I want to show y'all something, right? I want to show y'all something. Before we go to second Esdras, let's go to, hold on, bear with me. Let's go to the book of Daniel, right? I believe it's chapter 12. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Bear with me. I think it's Daniel chapter 9, where it talks about the little horn that spoke. See if I can find that. Bear with me. Because I think he said the little horn that spoke. Let me see. Daniel chapter 7. Here you go. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 8. It said, I considered the horns, and behold, 3 came up among them, another little horn. Right? So we know the 3, of the Edomite, the Edomite powers that came up. But then there was this little horn. Right? Of course, after the mother of Babylon being the British Empire, of course, now we have the daughter of Babylon being America. So this is that another little horn. It says, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Right? Listen, a mouth speaking great things. Now, it doesn't say great. See, when people hear that, but there's nothing great about this. Listen, great means that they speak. Somebody can speak great because they speak with pride. It's like if you have a team. There's 2 teams going against each other on a basketball game, and they start talking mess. That's great things. Or we're going to punish y'all. Or we're going to, we're going to win. We're going this. Like Trump was just saying. The greatest country on earth. The greatest constitution on earth. The most righteous country on earth. All these things on earth. That's what he said, on earth. The whole entire planet. Right? Just not making you laugh. That's fine. But you got to understand the times we live in it, man. The Most High God, YAHAWAH himself, is a true living power. And everything that was written in this book is true. Remember, the Lord said that these things are faithful and true. Right? So it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment Salakia. Is that part? Hold on. But let me go to where it talks about the little horn speaking. See if I can find it right here. Here you go right here. Here you go right here. It's verse 21. And I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints. So before we get there was a certain part I wanted to see, because it said that the little horn was talking. You know, it kept talking as YAHAWASHI was basically being made ready to come back to the earth to deliver his saints. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. I know it's in this chapter. In the mouth that speaks. Oh, here you go, right here. Verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and out of the other which came up. And of the other which came up. And before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Now, let's get into that word stout, right? Let's get into that word stout. Hold on, bear with me. Let's get into that word stout. Stout definition. It says a person somewhat fat or heavy build, right? So plump, fattish, it says fleshy. That's a good word, right? So if we get stout, let's see person meaning, a stout person. It says when describing a person, stout primarily means they have a thick-set, heavy-built, or slightly overweight physique. So in this case, remember, he said whose look was more stout than his fellows. Now let's go to Job, right? Because remember, it's speaking great things. He's making war with the saints. Remember, it said that he will come and speak against. Matter of fact, let's just get it. Because remember, he said, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. So let's get it. Let's go to Revelations. And let's get that. Revelations 13. And let's go down to verse 12. Here, right here. It says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose daily wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders. Right. He speak of great things, right? It says, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right, those are the missiles, the bombs that they dropped, the mother of all bombs, the atomic bombs they dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, right? And then it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. Now, the part I want to go to is here you go right here, verse 7. This is the point. Now, this is what he's speaking. It's showing us what he speak. It says, I'm starting from verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Right? Great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against, right, YAHAWASHI, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. You see? Right? And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So this is what they're doing. We're this on earth. We're that on earth. We're all this on earth. Stout. This is what it means to be stout. Let's also show you, because it said to be thick or heavy set, stronger, more mightier, more prideful. You know, he said on earth. This is during the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, of this place, Babylon. Their pride is showing higher than before through the words out of the mouth of Trump himself, right? So let's go to Job, and let's get that. When he talks about fill his belly, Let's get that. This is Job 20 and verse, as a matter of fact, let's start from verse 22 and work our way down. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Means what? That means when the missiles destroy this place. You understand? When the missiles destroy this place. Let's read verse 21. It says, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Right. Because this place is going to be filled with burning smoke. Every eye shall see this place burning. They shall say, you know, what city is like this great city? Now people say, oh, America's not a city. If you look into the 14th Amendment, it literally says that if you are a citizen of America, we know that the word citizen, the root word of that word is city. You a citizen of any of the 50th states or 50 states of America, right? Of North America, you know, you are indeed a U.S. citizen. You have to show your ID to show that you're a U.S. citizen, right? If you're not, you don't get the benefits and all these other things that they say. But anyway, that's just to put it out there. If anybody want to argue that America is not a great city, you know, they don't understand that cities also represent countries or where citizens dwell. It's your city. Okay. Anyway, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, see, when he's about to fill up his belly, when he's about to become prideful, when he feels like he's about to do his big one, right? Which is the mark of the beast, them implementing the new world order. You know, that's what they like to call it, the new world order. Because remember, the earth is in their hands right now. The Most High, he's allowing them to build up their desolate places so that, like he said, I would throw thee down. It says, the Most High, right, power, YAHAWASHI, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him by doing what? The missiles that's going to come and hit this place. And shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while he talking all this mess, while he's saying we're the greatest on earth, Independence Day, all these things, man. And we don't know when it's going to come to pass. We got to have faith, hope. You know, we got to endure. But it's coming. And it's going to obliterate this place. This is going to be the real fireworks. See, everyone's celebrating, you know, these things with little, you know, these lame ass fireworks, man. But the real fireworks is going to show when this place get destroyed. That's when we're going to be celebrating our independence. You know, our independence. That's when we're going to be celebrating. Because we're going to be delivered, Yahweh willing. You know, we're going to be delivered out of this captivity, out of this hellhole, man. It says, and he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Okay, come on, man. The iron weapon, it shall rain upon him. Come on, the iron weapon. What are missiles made out of? Metal, iron, right? And the bow of steel. There is no bow of steel. So what's the bow of steel? Those missiles shall strike him through. And it is drawn and cometh out of the body. What's the body? That means it come out of the gall of the ground. You know, the glittering sword. See, it glitters. What sword glitters? Oh, it was a sword that glitters, glistening through the sun because the sun is reflecting. No, bruh, stop making up stuff. All right, the glittering sword. That means the stars of heaven, when you see them falling, the stars of heaven are the missiles. When you see that fiery smoke coming from behind it, especially at night, when you see the missile, it looks like a shooting star. The glittering sword. And why is it a sword? Because swords kill. Swords are for killing. That's what a sword is for. A shield is to protect. A sword is to kill, to attack, to destroy, to utterly lay waste. It says, cometh out of his gall, right? Out of the mouth, from the body to the ground, you know, or it cometh from the trucks, you know, out of those holes of the trucks when they put the missiles in and they fly out from the ground, you know, and they go towards their target. It says, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Right, and that's already happening. The heavens is revealing his iniquity, right? We see the storms. We see the times that he in. The earth is against him. We see all these things, these sicknesses and earthquakes, you know. Not saying that some of these things are not caused by, you know, Esau. of Babylon, but it shows that they just a cancer and a plague on the earth, and they need to be destroyed. We already know what destroys cancer cells. Heat destroys cancer cells. Extreme heat. And that's what's coming to this place. Extreme heat to America. It's a cancer. Right? It says the increase of his house shall depart. See the increase. He's stout. He's more stout than all the owners. He's the only one talking all this mess. And he's going to be destroyed. It says the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from Yahawah, and the heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh. See, this is the heritage of this place, America. The heritage, bruh. Let's get into that word heritage. Heritage. Right, meaning. Let's get that. It says a property that is or may be inherited, an inheritance, birthright. See? Legacy, estate, devise, right? Endowment. This is a special individual possession, an allotted portion. See? So what's the portion of this place? Destruction. That's your inheritance. This is your birthright, all right? This is America's birthright, to be destroyed. Everybody want this place to last and go on forever. Why? Because you want to continue in your wickedness. Because you want to continue in your sins. Because you want to continue in doing the things that is against the Most High God, Yahawah BAHASHAM. We're going to get that. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 4. And we're going to read verse 15. This is when Babylon, attacked Jerusalem, and Ezra, he was afraid, and he was speaking to the Most High, and Uriel came. Now, this is what the Lord said through Uriel, the angel. It says, I'm starting verse 14, and said, come, let us go and make war against the sea. My fault. Hold on. Verse 12, it says, then said I unto him, it was better that we were not at all than that we should live still in wickedness, and to suffer, and to not know wherefore. He answered me and said, I went into a forest, into a plain, and the trees took counsel, and said, come, let us go and make war against the sea, that it may depart away before us, and that we may make us more woods. So, the angel is using this as an example, right? This is what the trees said. Now watch this. The floods of the sea also in like manner took counsel and said, come, let us go up and subdue the woods of the plain, that there also we may make us another country. The thought of the wood was in vain, for the fire came and consumed it, and the thoughts of the flood of the sea came likewise to naught, for the sand stood up and stopped them. If thou wert judged now between these two, whom wouldest thou begin to justify, or whom wouldest thou condemn? I answered and said, verily it is a foolish thought that they both have devised, for the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea also have his place to bear his floods. Right? It says, then answered he me, and said, thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest thou not thyself also? For like as the ground is given to the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. So when I read this, I'm like, yeah, we are the people of the earth only understand the things of the earth. We can look at certain things and maybe break it down, but even then we don't understand all things of this whole entire earth. But let's see what the Lord said. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. So who understands all things? Yahawah BAHASHAM, right? The Most High God Yahawah, which is the Father, through his Son YAHAWASHI, understand all things. Then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding. For it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen. Right, because Ezra was trying to figure out, how's the heathen that do wickedness, and they don't know the thoughts, they don't know the commandments of Yahawah BAHASHAM. How are they able to take Israel and with such force, and they be left alone like nothing, like they're doing no wrong. But the Lord is showing Ezra, you don't understand the things of the highest, right? You don't understand why he commits the judgments that he do, the righteous judgments that he do, which many people speak against. You got people all day, all over social media, they talking, like I said in the previous video, they're God critics. Oh, God should have done this. The Most High should have done that. If I was the Most High, I would have did this. Why is there so much death and destruction in the earth? God doesn't care. That's all these things they say in their heart and they say on social media, because that's what people take social media as. It's a diary. People used to write in their diary their thoughts and imaginations, but now the social media is their diary, and they show all their thoughts. They tell all the people wickedness is in the earth and it's waxing strong. But the many of the people that love wickedness, you're going to see for sure the Most High's judgment. And it's going to be done. And you can't stop him. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide, no matter how much you try to find a way to come out of it, even if you try to make yourself not even believe on the Father, it's fine. Just like the scriptures say, does your unfaithfulness make the Most High of none effect? God forbid. Your unbelief don't make the Most High weak, doesn't make him non-existent. He exists. That's what his name means, YAHAWAH. He exists. He's the true living power. It is what it is. You can't stop him, no matter your thoughts. And matter of fact, even the thoughts that you have are vain. All the thoughts we have are vain. They're nothing. They're of the earth. Dust. Right? But that right there gonna piss somebody off. But it should. Let it piss you off. Be judged. Get rebuked. Understand that we are nothing without the Most High. Even the scriptures say that. Anyway, it says, he said, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen, and for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to nothing, and the written covenants come to none effect, and we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. It says, what will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. So he's saying the more you search, the more you're going to be in awe. The more you're going to be in shocked. If you truly saying you want to figure out why these things are happening to your people, you going to see. And the reason why I'm bringing this out, because I'm saying this is the same. Remember, these curses came upon us because we sinned against the Most High God, Yahawah. I came here to show y'all this because now we see America sinning all over the earth. These are people that don't know the Most High. They disrespect his name. They disrespect his power, right? They disrespect all the things he creates. You got people giving cigarettes to squirrels and birds. They're giving it to their babies. Abortion clinics are on a high rise. People are killing their children more and more. I be seeing women all over social media. They be talking about, they should have killed that baby too. They should have left that one alive. I'm gonna kill him because I just want to go out and party. You got men, they raping their children, doing wicked things. People are ruining each other's lives by giving each other's STDs for revenge and things of that nature. It's a lot of wickedness in the earth, and everyone is applauding it through social media. So for all of you that's watching it and that's doing it, and for all of you that's applauding it, you're going to get your judgment. And it's going to be a righteous judgment. Because all the things you do proves righteous judgment, man. It is what it is. We all have done wrong. We understand you do wrong, consequences come for it. You understand? So, and that goes for all of us. It goes for me included. I'm not exempt. That's why we have to have hope and faith in YAHAWASHI. It says, then he answered, this is verse 26. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hasteth fast to pass away, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of again, I'm going to read it again, verse 27. And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Just like this place, Babylon, a.k.a. America, a.k.a. United States, a.k.a. where the eagle is shown. This place, right? Make America great again. Whatever you want to call it. This place is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. It's unclean. It's a virus. Like the Lord said, everywhere you go. Matter of fact, let's keep reading. It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Exactly. It's talking about the second death, which is the thermonuclear destruction. It has not yet come. And if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. Exactly. That means the good things can't come until the evil is passed away. And we in the times of the evil times. So we trying to wait. We're anticipating and we're waiting and we're enduring for the evil time to pass away, to be destroyed and obliterated off the face of the earth, so that the good seed can shine upon the earth. It's like the sun and the moon. When the sun shines, the day is here. When the sun goes down, that day has ended and a new day has now began. Right now, we're in a time of darkness, right? We're in a time of shade and the shadow. But when this shadow pass over, right? See, Passover, there you go. When the shadow pass over by the great fire that is to come upon this place, America, right? Which is the missiles. Then the kingdom of YAHAWASHI shall rule, and only the elect shall rule in it. You know, and the seed shall come through the elect. So Lord willing, we have the elect. We gotta have faith, hope, and charity. Anyways, it says, if therefore that which is we already read that. Verse 30. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time. And even if you actually answer this question, a lot, but people do this thing where, oh, I have hope in humanity. You know, oh, there's still some good. Yeah, exactly. Some good. But it ain't all good. And then people move with this notion like America teaches them. They teach this wicked doctrine of, oh, it's it's not perfect if there's no evil. That don't even make sense. You know, that don't even make sense. Anyway, it says, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? Exactly. And what's the time of threshing? When the Most High destroyed this place, America. That's the time of threshing. When America gets destroyed, Esau knows, the white man knows, right? The ones that rule over, not your little average white man that you go to work with, or that's down the street, or that's in a trailer park that you go to school with, right? Not them. You know, we talking about, they're gonna be destroyed anyway, but we talking about the ones that's in high places. They know when America's destroyed, their time is up. It's over. They know Yahawashi is coming. When America is destroyed, he's coming in the midst of that to deliver his elect and to bring righteous judgment on the earth and put everything in order under his feet, like the scripture said. All right. So it says, ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth. And if this was a real tree, it is abundance and it's continuing. Remember, the Lord was telling Esdras that there's things that I know you don't know. Remember how the Lord remember the Lord teleported, I think it was Ezekiel, to see, up to high place. It was either Ezekiel or Elijah, right? He took to show the wickedness that was going on in high places in Israel, right? With the teachers and the elders and the princes of Israel, of the northern kingdom, southern kingdom, right? He showed him, look at these people behind the wall. Look at what they do. He was like, ain't that the high priest? Ain't that there? Yeah, that's them. That's the people that everyone looks up to. See, that's the thing. We, with our own eyes and our own minds, we can't see what everyone does. We have times where we may say, I feel something off this person, whatever. But, we don't really know. We don't have the eyes of the Lord. The eyes of the Lord means he can see all things. He beholds all things. He knows all things. We don't know all things. We don't see all things. We don't behold all things. Right? But the Most High reveals these secrets to his prophets. And we can see the wickedness in the earth. We see that it's waxing. We see that it's strong. If it was a man, it would be a mighty man on earth. If it was a tree, it would bring great fruit. If it was an ocean, the whole world would be flooded. Because this place is filled with wickedness. And Babylon, right, is the source, is the heart of wickedness. It's the heart of it. And you got to kill the heart. You stab the heart, the whole body shut down. So you stab the heart of wickedness, the whole wickedness, the whole wicked body is destroyed. And now the righteous body can rise up and flourish in righteousness without evil trying to cast it down. You understand? It says, and when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill? Right. So let's go to this last scripture I'll bring out. Let's go to Psalms. My fault. Proverbs chapter 12, right? Let's read verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. Right? We know that Trump hate reproof. They told him months ago, don't go to war. Don't go to war with Iran. It is not wise. But we know why he went to war. He went to war with Iran, because they have a vault, with videos, thousands, probably millions of videos of Trump, having, raping children. We're just going to keep it real. Raping children, sexually assaulting children, doing wicked and wild things to them. In Israel, right, the Israelis, they have it. Netanyahu, Satan Yahu, and all of them, they have it. They have these things. And if he don't do what they say, right, they're going to bring destruction upon him. And this is already evidence. Right? If you want to believe it or not, that's on you. I don't care. Anyway, it says they hated reproof. It's brutish. You're a brute. You're like a caveman, a troglodyte. It says a good man obtaineth favor of Yahawah, but a man of wicked plans, wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness. Right? It says, but the root of righteous shall not be moved. See that? See that? The root of righteousness shall not be moved. Verse 6, the words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood. Right? We are the greatest on earth, this on earth, that on earth. They all these great things, high things on earth. Well, the Lord is going to show how great they're going to be. He's going to bring a great destruction. That's their reward. That's their inheritance. So since you want to be great and fat and stout in your wickedness, prideful in it, you're going to be destroyed with it. You're going to be consumed by it. You're going to be consumed by your own vain imagination. You want to create bombs and missiles that destroys people. You reap what you sow. So if you create destruction, that destruction will then touch you. You create evil, that evil will then touch you. And it won't be in the way that they think. See, people think this place is going to get invaded in the way of, men going to come with, guns and stuff, and everyone is just going to take people over, and America just going to get a spanking. That's how some people looking at this war with Iran. They looking at it like, oh, this is good for America. Finally, they can get humbled. No, they're not getting humbled that way. America will never be humbled until it's destroyed. Right? So it says the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood. Right? Are to lie and wait for blood. It says, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not. But the house of the righteous shall stand. See that? So the Lord is already showing you through Proverbs 12 his righteous judgment. This is going to be done to the righteous and the upright, and those that follow the Lord, those that trust in the Lord. And these are the things that's going to be done to the wicked. These are the things that are going to be done to those that lie in wait for blood. These are going to be done to the things that hate reproof, that hate rebuke, that don't want to be corrected. This is what's going to happen to this place, America. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to be overthrown. It won't be established. Right? Remember the Lord said, but a man of wicked devices, he will he condemn. Right? The Most High is going to condemn them. And we just read that in 2nd Esdras, chapter 3. How he's going to condemn them. That great destruction, that fiery destruction, the threshing. Fattening up the wine press. With the missiles. That's the army of YAHAWASHI. And he's going to use his army to blast this place. There's no other way to say it. Blast, destroy, utterly destroy, obliterate, let's say execute, demolish, whatever word you want to use. Demolish, whatever word you want to use. it's going to happen to this place. And it's going to be in such a great sight, a beautiful sight. So that's all I wanted to tell y'all. I hope this edifies you, brothers and sisters, in this truth. Keep enduring, keep fasting and praying. Don't just pray for yourselves, pray one for another, pray for your children, pray for your wife, pray for your husband, pray for the remaining elect, that's out there, pray that we be of the elect. Lord willing that we, Yahweh willing that we be delivered out of captivity, that we are of those that be delivered from the destruction, and also protecting our temptation that we endure also through that time. Time is short, and the Most High's judgment is here. It's been here, and it's heating up. It's heating up, and we still in the time of grace and mercy. So you brothers and sisters that has not repented, or that's new to this thing, it's time to repent and get right with YAHAWASHI. Practice the righteous acts to the best of your abilities, but you do it through faith, hope, and charity in YAHAWASHI. So remember, he said not just faith and hope. He said you also got to have charity, and charity means the love of it. You got to love this truth. You got to love it. And like I said, many of our people don't love this truth. Many of our people don't really see the love of this truth. They see it as a dull thing. They see it as a hated thing. And I'm talking about a lot of the people that's already claiming to be in the truth. They see it as a dull thing. And that's fine. That's fine if they're not taking heed. Their judgment will come. But we have to make sure we in order and do the things that YAHAWASHI, right? So I'm going to say shalom. Call Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM HaMashiach YAHWASHI, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHWASHI, Barakatah YAHWAH. Shalom.